Hi everyone. So we're going to do current affairs today. We'll start with two problems. Okay, we'll start with the CLAT based pattern where I'll show you a passage and then followed by a few questions. All right. I would recommend that you have a pen and paper handy so you can make a note of your answers. These questions are going to be timed, and I think 5 minutes for 5 questions is more than sufficient. In those 5 minutes, you will have to divide your time between reading the passage, reading the question, uh, choosing the right answer from the given 4 options. Maybe you may have to go back to the passage and look at it and so on. Okay. So we'll do two distinct topics today. And let's see how that goes. Once you've done the problem, I will give you the answers and we'll have a brief discussion on the answers as well, wherever required. Okay. Some of general knowledge questions are very fact based. So it could be dates, it could be years. There's not too much explanation that's needed there. But sometimes you may have to go through the passage to find the answer and so on. So let's see how you do. We'll begin now. Okay, everyone ready? Keep your paper and pen handy so that you can make a note of the answers as you go along, or make a note of your choices. So I would recommend write down question number 1 and then whatever your choices between the 4 options. These are going to be multiple choice questions. You just make a note of your answer. Okay. And then at the end, you can evaluate. You can give yourself +1 for the right answer and take away 0.25 for a wrong answer. So you will say minus 0.25 and then calculate how many you got wrong. Okay, so let's begin. Okay, that's the end of this passage. You had 5 questions and relatively easy questions, I believe. Okay, so let's discuss them. First one, this is a very obvious one, correct? Everybody knows that we have a new president, and that is President Draupadi Murmu, and she is the 15th president of India. Okay, so the right answer would be option A. Option A. I hope you can all see this. The right answer is the 15th. Okay. 1 second. Fifteenth is the right answer. So that brings us to the other choices, right? Anyone, if you can remember, or if you don't know, make a note of it. And those who know, very good that you do know this. The 12th president of India was Pratibha Patil. Why is the 12th president so important? Because Pratibha Patil was the first woman president of India. Okay, Draupadi Murmu is the second woman president. So the 12th one is important because of that. The 10th president was K.R. Narayanan. Okay, K.R. Narayanan. He was also our 9th vice president, and he's the 10th president of India. The 14th, of course, the outgoing president is Ramnath Kovind. Okay, so now you know this, if you didn't know this earlier. The right answer is option A for the first one. Okay. Second question. The oath is administered to the President of India by, again, the right answer is option A, the Chief Justice of India. Yes? Everyone knows this? Okay. Now, the Chief Justice of India, we all know, is Justice N.V. Ramana. Okay. And look at option B and C. The chairman of the Rajya Sabha and the vice president of India is the same person. Okay, right, presently it is Mr. Venkaiah Naidu, but uh, if you were to look at it from the constitution's point of view, we have Article 63 that says the vice president of India will also be the chairman of the Rajya Sabha. Okay, and Chief Justice of India, I'd just like to show you, administers the oath of President of India, right? The oath of the office is administered by the Chief Justice of India. And this is the oath. It's just a 3-line oath to faithfully, I mean, you will go through this later in the class, but I'm just letting you know that this will be administered by the Chief Justice of India itself. Again, we have an article, Article 60, that talks about the oath administered to the president. Okay. Speaker of the Parliament has no role here. All right. The only person administering the oath is the Chief Justice or the CJI. Just remember this. Next. Okay, this is interesting. All the following details of the president are true except what is wrong here. That means 3 out of 4 of this is correct, but 1 of this is wrong. Okay, and let's look at the first option. India's youngest president. Yes, she is India's youngest, born in 1958. Okay, first woman president. No, remember we talked about the 12th president, so she's the second woman president of this country. Third option, first tribal woman president, true. India's first citizen, true. Fourth question. Okay. Until now, I'm not really gone in detail looking at the passage, or we didn't really discuss the passage. Now you'll see question number 4 and 5, the answer choices, you will see your answer is given in the passage. Okay. So it's always important to give the passage one reading at least when you do these problems. All right. So I think she was born here in this village, in this district of the state. So that is right here in this statement, right? In the state of Odisha. Similarly, the next question, Draupadi Murmu served as the governor of which state, of which Indian state? Again, go through the passage. As a governor of Jharkhand, you already got the answer. Okay, within the first 2 lines, you got the answer, right? So this happens in our law entrance exams. They sometimes do give the answers within the passage, but we have to read it closely. All right. Okay. So let's continue with the next set of questions. Are you all ready? I will start the timer right away. Ready? Okay, I think that's plenty time. I'm stopping the timer. So you had 4 minutes 30 seconds, okay, to do this particular passage. Now let's discuss the passages. So here we have so we don't need the timer anymore, right? We'll close this. Just trying to adjust the screen size so everyone can see the whole passage. Okay, I think this will be clear enough. Okay. So in this passage, they've told us, so this is a slightly longer passage, right, from the previous one. And here, of course, it's taken from the Indian Express, and you will see a certain tone being used by the author. Okay. Now, since none of the questions asked us about tone, we are not going to look at that, but there are some words, very interesting words that's been used here. Okay. So when you have some time, go through the passage again and you will find good vocabulary. Uh, I noticed a few: still nascent career, chutzpah, right? And uncluttered, and so on. Anyway, new facets. Okay. So this passage tells us about Neeraj Chopra and his, what does he play? The javelin, right? Javelin throw. And a few hints are given as to where the event occurred, what event it is, and so on. Okay, the world. So they've told us what the event is and what his effort paid off in securing a silver medal and so on. Okay. Now, if you see the questions, not all of them directly ask you, like, what medal did he win or what was his game about or so on. But they ask you questions related to this particular event. Okay. So you'll have to uh, be aware enough when some event of international or national importance is happening, you will have to read up on it. Okay. That's the only way to work with current affairs. And he's given a few details also. Okay. All of this is good to know because you should know who won the gold, right? We won the silver and so on. Okay. So let's look at the first question. We have the first question here. Where was the World Athletics Championships held? Okay. So this is right away, this is going to be an easy answer, right? Because it was given right in the first two lines of the passage. Now, if you don't know where Eugene is, it's in Oregon State in the United States of America. Okay, so answer first one will be choice B. Okay, right, and we have the second question here. We have the first World Championships. Okay, we're not talking about this event, which is known as uh, Athletics World Championships. Okay, there is another which preceded this one, right? The Athletics World Championships came about much later in 1983. I will show you some more details about that in a few minutes, but this preceded that. Okay, and the first one was held at Malmo in Sweden in the year, and this is a factual kind of information. If you know it, you know it. If you don't know it, no matter how much you guess, you're not going to get the answer. Okay, in the exam, if you don't know the answer, just skip. Okay, but if you have studied and if you know the answer or at least can eliminate, if you know that it's not in 76, not in 65, but before that or something, if you've studied, you will know that. Okay, but in this particular case, it is 1976. So those who are marking your answers to C. Okay, it's 1B to 1976 And 3, how often is the World Athletics Championships held? So twice a year, that means every 6 months or something. Annually, that's once a year. Biennial is twice, once in 2 years, sorry, once in 2 years. Okay. Quadrennial is once in 4 years. What is held once in 4 years? It's your Summer Olympics. The Olympics is always once in 4 years. This is once in 2 years. So your answer is C. Next, this was the world record. It made headlines across the world. Okay. So this is really important. You must remember the name Armand Duplantis from Sweden. Please remember this name. And if you can remember the 6.21 meters. What does he play? Again, no guessing, it is pole vault. Okay. I'm sure a lot of you must have seen the clippings in the news, right? So he won gold, and this is a world record. Okay, that means this is the farthest somebody has been able to do the sport. Okay, next question. Very interesting question. So they've told us what is given in the passage itself. I already know this information. I know Neeraj Chopra has won silver for the javelin. I know all this from the passage, right? And he says this is India's second medal at the World Championships. And they want to know if this was India's second ever medal, who won India's first ever medal? Okay. Now, the answer is Anju Bobby George, long jump. Again, these are all facts. If you read about it, you will get to know the answer. Okay, from the passage, we won't get this answer. All right, so that was the end of today's class. Okay, I hope it was an easy class for all of you. Okay, this is a comparison I brought in for what the 1976 World Championships in athletics was. Okay, that was the first time this was held, and the World Championships in athletics was in 1983. This is the current competition that is going on. Okay, so you can read more about it online. All right, thank you everyone.